Here at Power Star Japan, we're celebrating Games of 2023. I know what you're saying, it's 2024, you losers. But in actuality, in order to play every single game of 2023, you'd have to wait for 2023 to be over, right? That's exactly what we did, and in line with the old magazines and gaming sites that you used to love, we're going to announce our Game of the Year of 2023 in February of 2024. So sit back and relax as we release a new video every day, all culminating in the final Game of the Year of 2023.
When Breath of the Wild launched for the Switch in 2017, it was a huge shakeup for the Legend of Zelda series. Rather than constricting the player to a linear format, Nintendo constructs this fleshed-out world of Hyrule and allows the player to explore every nook and cranny it has to offer. Exploring Hyrule to your heart's content, building up Link and arming yourself along the way. Doing whatever you think is necessary to take on Ganon. Because you don't have to do most of the quests that advance the story if you don't want to. You're able to try and take Ganon on right away because that's the main goal of the game, allowing you to make your journey as short or as long as you want to. So it begs the question, if Breath of the Wild is so great, how can they improve upon it? Well, Nintendo answers that question with
one of the greatest action-adventure games of all time, of this year. Yes, it's Genshin Impact 2. Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and it plays so well it borders on invalidating the first entry.
Tears of the Kingdom picks up a few years after Breath of the Wild, with the rebuilding of Hyrule seemingly going smooth. Of course, this is turned on its head right from the beginning as Link has the stats knocked out of him and must traverse through the land once more in order to stop Ganondorf. The story immediately hooks you in with an immensely epic first sequence, but it doesn't stop there. You'll catch up with some characters from the previous adventure, with most of them having adjusted to this newfound peace turned disaster, with gloom threatening to engulf the entire land. This game allows you to go from beat to beat without missing one, and should you want to veer off the beaten path, you'll have every chance to do so. As expected for Zelda, the power of bonds and each individual overcoming struggle are a huge part of the story, but you'll even see Link go through similar development even though he remains the silent protagonist.
The story is simple enough that you can pick it up without needing to go through the initial chapter, and the improvements made upon the already amazing blueprint laid down in Breath of the Wild will blow everybody's mind. Of course, a playthrough of the first game will help you to fully appreciate these improvements. Not only is the familiar map you know and love returning with a vengeance fueled by 5-year-old nostalgia, it also has a wealth of updates, not fueled by microtransactions. The surface of Hyrule is the same, but the locations are different. Now you have a castle floating in the sky, and various changes and progressions to the places you've seen before. You also have the addition of caves scattered across the surface. Alongside these changes are two brand new locales, the first being the depths. The game seems to take a feather from the Souls games here, because this place is oppressive, dark, and scary. It inverts your hopeful desire to explore the map into morbid curiosity, and the light routes serve as a perfect goal point. You're not getting them for fun, per se. You're getting them to make this environment a little more hospitable. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some fun things to find here. They're just well hidden. The second feather takes us out of the chasm of dank and into the heavens. Being inspired from Skyward Sword, the Sky Islands are a wondrous spectacle. Seemingly sparse on the map, each one is packed to the brim with zonai, monsters, and shrines. It really is a perfect shake-up to start your adventure here, where you can really take in the scope of the whole wide world. The game really shines when certain quests take you on a wild ride through all three areas, each a showcase of ingenuity in their own unique ways.
Tears of the Kingdom addresses every single one of the shortcomings of Breath of the Wild, and manages to surpass even our wildest expectations. The once barren landscape, oddball dungeons, and minimal story of Breath of the Wild are rectified in a glorious manner. The world is teeming with life, both hostile and civil. Every single square meter of Hyrule has something. It truly feels like a very open and complete world when pit against its already groundbreaking previous iteration. The music finally gets a chance to be bombastic and breathes a new life into Hyrule, setting a tone that transcends series past and the future. The battle you wage won't have you being alone. Truly, one of the greatest secrets is your team and companions. Having them be your physical allies and abilities is a genius way to make you feel like a Hylian soldier of fortune against Ganon and his horde. And speaking of Ganon, he is wonderfully written and for once puts up a fight worthy of his namesake. It's truly a spectacle and an endgame worth every heart container you unlock. Tears of the Kingdom is an experience that's unique and wholly different from one person to the next, be it the combat, the intuitive build mechanics of Ultra Hand, or just the wanderlust adventuring. Every person creates their own story. It's truly the most fun, fascinating, and joyous gaming experiences we've had. Tears of the Kingdom becomes the greatest Zelda game, perhaps of all time, and definitively our game of 2023.
Phew. One step at a time. What exactly happened?